let's go. First of all, I would like to for everyone to make a follow up of the issues that was assigned in in reference to Neo 4. So uh, no, this is not Jimmy. I think I have a
It's not
mistake.
me.
Yeah, dynamic block interval is for you, Alvaro. You can.
Yeah. Victor and I had some meeting to talk about this task. I push a pull request today with to work in the implementation. I saw that Eric said that it's better to start with gas decoupling. So for me, it's okay. We can change and start with that part. So we are working on it.
I think even for these specific topics, it will cost the whole meetings to discuss about this issue because dynamic block intervals will be a very, very big issue. Eric said it's we can decouple the gas reward from the block generation, but actually it will be very hard because it will be related to like tools checking for the rewards. There's some even Shogun's browser is having the new line. They depend on the functionalities of gas rewards to calculate the reward of the gas for users in real time. If we decouple that from the block generation, so this will be affected. So we need to really be careful to consider about this protocol, and we need a lot of time to discuss about it. It's not like as easy as Eric has
Yeah, but
proposed.
in my opinion, there are three main phases. One is decouple the gas generation. The other is the configuration, how the committee will configure this block interval, this dynamic block interval, and the other is join these two phases and make the change accordingly to sign the block and change between every step. So I think it doesn't it's the same if we start with the gas or the config because they are related, but you can develop both of them together.
Hello. There are some points, Jimmy. I didn't understand the decouple of gas reward where Eric requested that. Maybe on the roadmap, I didn't pay attention very well. But from this discussion, that about block time, he just mentioned that we should decouple from the index. So first of all, we would decouple from the block index and change this calculation to the block timestamp. So what it means? It means that instead of considering fixed reward per block, we will consider it based on the timestamp that the block was published.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. No difference.
Yes, basically there is no difference. And we will still change the storage on every block. So what I understand that you are saying that you want to decouple this from changing the storage every block. You don't want to update the gas reward calculation on every block, right?
Oh, I misunderstood him if that's the case.
Okay. So that's it. I think you misunderstood. That maybe, Jimmy, because they are different things. But in any case, I think it's possible to decouple as well because it's possible. It's possible to know how much gas we will have and avoid us to change the storage. But I think it's not under discussion right now. But it's a possibility. Another thing, Fernando, another thing is that you mentioned about the committee making these changes on the Pollux level. I don't know if it's a good direction, because the committee, we are talking about 21 nodes, so most of them need to sign, and how they will sign if we are under high demand. So I think this change on the level should be automatic. I don't know if maybe automatic based on fixed parameters of the block, or maybe the speaker should propose the next level. Not always, but when he thinks, the speaker thinks that he should change to another level because his mempool is full, so he proposed. If the backups agree...
I mean that it should be, of course, automatically. I mean the configuration of how much intervals we will have and how much transaction per block we will have. But the change, of course, will be automatically.
Automatic. But Fernando, do you think it's easy to make these changes on policy contract automatically based on the block during block persistent? Because currently changes on policy contract are all signed. Do you think it's an easy change?
I think that we only need to configure the steps and the transactions per block, and the other things will be done automatically without storage change. The consensus should check the memory pool and check what was the last block interval and just create the new one accordingly.
No, let me understand. Because we have some levels, and these levels are defined on the policy contract, perhaps.
Yes.
So we need to change this level. How will we change this level? The speaker will propose the change, or we're going to create a transaction?
I think the difficult part will be how do you trust if the chain is well done or wrong.
No, but the point is that the speaker propose, if the backup agree, so it's an agreement. For example, we can create some guideline. The guideline is if your mempool is full and this is happening, so you change to that level. So the speaker proposes. I think that I reached that level, so I will propose this change. If the backups agree, it will proceed. If not, it will not proceed. So I think what we can do is create a guideline our guideline is based on the code, on the NeoCli. The NeoCli makes an interpretation, and if the guy is running our version of NeoCli, it makes that interpretation of the levels. So if the other backups are running that and agree,
yeah, but that's require the consensus from the block, because currently we only use the consensus for block generation. If you want to consensus a different thing,
parameter.
In that case is which is the time per block now.
My idea, Thiago, is to add an additional parameter on the block reader. Like on the header of the block, we add some additional info, and it's like open for discussions. I mean, there is an additional parameter on the block header that the consensus can write anything he wants, let's say. But not anything, but let's say it can propose this. So I think exactly what you mentioned. Currently, we just decide transactions, but consensus will also use this protocol to decide some extra discussion. Maybe on an additional field on the header.
And you want to check the previous header to check if the change is allowed or not. Because
we need to... yes, we need to check if it's allowed, and on the current header, we propose the next level.
It's a good idea because the currently consensus don't change the time. Is the next one?
Yes, I think it's a good flow. And as Eric said, if we change the level, then we don't jump to that level. Then gradually, deterministically, we know a procedure. For example, if the block is 15 seconds and we want to move to 5, so the next may be 13 and the other one 10. Then we're gonna reach the 5 in like 5 blocks. I don't know. Just to not change this dramatically, as this is what he mentioned, I think, about a cooldown. But one thing is to decide.
For a cooldown, I think that if we have these 3 steps, high, low, normal, and low, I think that Eric don't want to jump from high to low. He want to change step by step.
That's it.
For this, actually, I previously commented, but I have some misunderstood about Eric's suggestions. But still here, for this tiered and layered consensus time, I have concerns here. I have problems here because our purpose of having dynamic consensus intervals, block intervals, is for providing users the best experience, right? That is the reason we want to have it.
Yeah, we want.
But if we have these multi-tier block intervals, this one means if there's a very low transaction volumes in the new networks, that the users will always experience a very long block intervals. Is that correct? So it means like if the transaction, if a lot of people use it, it will be fast. If there's not many people using that, it will be very slow. And people have to wait for a long time. Like maybe still.
I don't agree with this design as well, Jimmy. As I said, as my understanding is the opposite. My understanding is the opposite. When we don't have load, the block should be very fast. Because we are empty. We don't have, my opinion, my vision, and our experience is that if we have like 10 transactions per second, then the blocks can be milliseconds. We can publish the transactions instantaneously. But my point is that when we are under high load, but when I mention high load, I am really mentioning high load, like 100 kTPS, to 200 kTPS. I mean, really huge load, 50 kTPS. So in these cases, usually lower block times are not good because we don't give time for the transactions to spread through the main pools. So what would happen if we have like thousands of transactions is that the speaker would propose and the block is like 1 second block, like half-second block. We don't have time for the other backups to ask for these transactions. This is some experiments that we run already, but the point is that currently, I was discussing this with Álvaro, he was explaining to me that currently we have like the parameter set, I think 500 transactions per block maximum. So our TPS maximum nowadays, how much it is? 50? So we are discussing about something that is involving low TPS. So any solution we propose will work. But on the user perspective, the solution may not be so good because it's not really solving anything. This dynamic block time, in my vision, is not really solving a problem. I know it can solve some problems, but not nowadays. But for the future, it can solve.
Are you saying like, sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go.
Are you saying if there's more transactions, we should have longer block intervals?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
because
yes.
it need more time to execute. All right.
Exactly.
I understand it's totally reasonable concerns considering we have a not very efficient systems, but that will be based on the evaluation and benchmark results. So that will be a totally another story. I think it's not the problem. It's what this proposal is trying to solve. I assume, I'm not sure it's 100%. I'm not 100% sure. The dynamic block intervals is for making user a good experience, like shorten the waiting time. Like, you know, the hyperliquid. Sorry.
Latency is the word.
Yeah. Latencies. Yeah. make people no longer have to wait for like shorten the latencies. Like I assume that is the purpose of the dynamic block time, because
Yes.
currently if you want to compete with other projects or blockchains, you need to make new performance stand out, right? So I assume this is for this purpose. But again, like I just mentioned at the beginning, if you have multiple tiers like this, you will make the first guys who tries new, or the very like in the low volume times, people will still experience large latencies, big latencies. I'm not sure how unit should be, but it's long waiting times. You know what I
I
mean?
don't agree as well, Jim. I think like make longer block times when we don't have transaction is not a good solution. But why I am supporting this solution?
Hold on. I don't see any difference between you and me talking about this. I'm also seeing like it's not a good idea.
Yes, we are aligned. We are aligned, Jim. We are in the same.
What Eric here proposed here is not really.
But you know, I don't agree very well. I am agree with you, Jimmy. I agree with you on this. But the point is that I believe that the code should be ready for this. So even if we don't, we should create the feature. The feature is change this maybe to policy contract, create a mechanism for this to be automatically adjusted for the future. Because for now, the way we are creating this and the limits we have, there is no difference. And I more than that, there is no difference like in changing the block time to 3 seconds, 15 seconds. This will make no difference on TPS. And I believe also that the idea of making longer block times when the network doesn't have transaction is very bad. Because like, imagine we have like 60-second blocks. I think all blocks should be fast for now. And my vision is that all blocks should be fast. Blocks should be 1 second, 2 seconds if possible. And we should do exactly what you said. We should have checkpoints that should clean empty blocks. That's very important. We should prune empty blocks. There is no reason to have them. And this is going to save storage a lot. And we should have the blocks as fast as possible. And my idea of having the feature is that when we have this feature in the future, maybe we have high TPS. And then you're going to see what I'm trying to explain to you, that we have the feature. Now we can have longer block times. And with longer block times, we can have 100K TPS. Because with longer block times, it's much easier for reaching consensus in some scenarios. We simulated a lot this, we did many experiments. And I believe it will be hard to reach in different ways. But anyway, I'm supporting the solution because I believe the feature is good. But I don't believe I don't support the way the feature is going to be used. The way Eric is proposing, I don't support. But I think there is no much difference. And I think it's good to develop the feature.
Let's change the topic, guys. Otherwise, we will use all the time for the first one. Ginny, you can go ahead with your issue.
I think that's for it's for no. Okay, I thought it's Christopher. Okay.
Jimmy?
I think Chris is not here.
Sorry, I muted myself.
Yes. Step back.
All right. I don't think this one is worth being discussed, because I'm still trying to figure out what it means to have a standardized token interfaces and what it should be like.
I think that you are
it's like an implementation parts. What I'm currently doing and working on this is having a small contract development framework. It's like make it compatible. If you wanted to have a DEX, you can just create a DEX from the templates, and you can have features. Then I'll provide you tools. You wanted it to be like this way, that we have built-in algorithms like this. If and no longer, just like I mentioned, you have NEP 17 and NEP 11. the framework, it will no longer be like this that way. You can just create a smart contract, make it an NFT, make it a token transaction, a token contract, just like make a compatible modularized framework. That is what I'm doing and what I understand about these things. But for me, it's still like a development based, so I don't think it should be discussed here.
Okay.
Considering the first one is still not being, we still have concerns and need time to fully make it discussed.
Let's go with you, Will, if you can follow up with your research.
I think
It
only
is
first
some time. I'm working on it. Yeah. It is some time. Yeah.
Well, for this one, I think you need, instead of just start working on it, we need to know your selections on the technologies, like algorithms, things, protocols that you want to use, or something like that. We need your proposals or issues. Well, I don't have the right to see this because for my jobs, I didn't create the issues as well. But it would be better to be done that way.
Yeah, but we need to research about which algorithm we will use, and if we want, we will increase the hash size or not.
Wait a second. Does anyone here really understand about a quantum cryptography?
Yes, I understand a little. I understand that, for example, I know that for the first algorithm, the first point of the issue, research needs to recommend post-quantum algorithms. I know also that Eric wants the one based on latest problems, which is a kind of NP hard problem that every time you generate some private key, it's guaranteed that this private key is a kind of NP hard problem. And I know that Eric likes this solution, so I think the selection of the algorithm can be aligned with that. We can pick I think there is one or two. I think it's Crystal or Falcon. I need to remember the name, but one is based on hash and the other one is based on lattice. So I think lattice problems are the ones I like as well. And I think it's a good solution. But it's just one thing of the quantum cryptography integration. It's a selection of one algorithm. The other things is that we discussed before now about the increasing the size. So there are many discussions about, I think there are other discussions that you guys are expert as well. For example, where to have the quantum security? Do you want to have this on the account? But you don't want to have this on the consensus, because the consensus also communicate using cryptography.
I also wanted to ask this question, like if we have quantum cryptography, what it will be like to change our new core? Do we need a new account? Do we need a new private key systems? Do we need everything new? I don't really understand it.
If we use a longer hash size, we will need it. Yes.
A new account system? I'm sorry. Do we need a new account system?
We need to be compatible with the previous one, but we need to allow to create a different way to.
All right, I'll put it this way: we have private keys, we have public keys, we have an address. If we use the quantum cryptography here, do we need a new private key, or
you need
You need a
new private key. Each of these algorithms. Sorry, Roman, you can.
Well, go ahead.
The private key is different for the PQC algorithm.
So we need a new account systems accordingly.
Your
Maybe
wallet,
not. It's not.
your
And
address will be
account system can keep thing as the parent.
You need to change your
Account is yeah. Maybe
I didn't understand.
sorry.
But from my perspective, I think we need a generic account model. That's the point. Currently, we have like accounts based on a given cryptography, let's say elliptic curves. We need a generic account model that the guy can choose his cryptography. The guy can choose a password, the guy can choose anything, I don't know, a verification script.
Yeah,
We need a
We
generic
have
account
verification
model.
scripts. We already have verification scripts.
Yeah, but if the cryptography that is under that verification script is vulnerable,
Yes. That of course, but I mean, the account model itself allows for many things. We can use different algorithms as we introduce them. We already can use some different keys, like, for example, couplets keys. It's all possible. So if we're to just introduce some new interrupt functions or cryptography, cryptoleap functions, they can all be leveraged in the verification scripts immediately. So
On U2, I remember it was very, very possible to create like any cryptography on the account side. But another thing we need to consider is that the blocks should be protected against cryptography. The blocks itself and the communication on the peer-to-peer. But for that,
because if you have a collision in the transaction hash, you will have also a problem. That's why I added this. We need to study. We need to increase the hash size, because if you just changing the script of the transaction, you can create a different transaction, but with the same hash, because you have a big computer and you just try to create a transaction. If it's the same hash, for the consensus will be the same transaction, and currently we don't have a state.
I think, currently the bigger problem is not even the transaction hash, but most likely it's the account hash, because that's just 160 bits. It's not even 256 bits. Yeah, it's double hash in that we normally do SHA-256 and then RIPE-MD 160. But especially the RIPE-MD 160 is considered to be deprecated already. It's not even SHA-256 that's currently considered to be okay. So that's a bigger problem to me than even the transaction hashes.
So that's it. We need something generic. We need to design this, Fernando. Like, we need to have something ready for increasing these hashes. We need to be generic enough for when we need, we just insert some new function. We need to prepare for that. I think that's the point.
What's the current status of the quantum computing? Is that a really big issue right now? It's a big threat for us to consider, because I think we have much more prioritized the tasks. For instance, make new, like, attractable for users to use right now. So quantum is like it's a lot of changes to our fundamental designs and architecture.
I think it's not really a threat in like 5 years, maybe 10 years. But the point, I think Eric wants that, because on the new white paper, things like 2014, it was written that new would be quantum secure, quantum safe, So I think he has this in his mind. So that's why He still believes on that. I think he wants to say that new. I think that's the point. He wants to say that new is quantum safe, but it's not that it really. We don't really need this for maybe 5 years. But as Roman said, that maybe we need. Roman just said that the address may be in danger.
Well, to me, let's say that it's not immediately in danger, but the fact that we are using obsolete algorithms for account hash generation is just a fact. RIPE-MD 160, yeah, it's obsolete. So it would be nice for us to migrate to some other algorithms, but at the same time, this is very invasive because that's the address we have, the concept of address we have everywhere in the system. So it's really problematic to change it. And I would probably agree that it's not the most prioritized thing for us because currently, well, it still works. We don't know for any way to generate collisions even for RIPE-MD 160. But time goes and things can appear. And actually, probably it's also related to the fact that given the algorithm is obsolete, I don't think a lot of researchers do poke at it right now because usually people try to play with some standard algorithms, well-known algorithms like cracking SHA is what everyone wants to do, but following this RIPE-MD 160, probably not.
For me, this can be a good start. If we have in cryptolith native contract, at least these two algorithms, it's a good start. While the research is doing, I'm sure that that we will use a longer hash size in any case. Not sure where, but I think that we will need it. So maybe you will can start doing this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think Chris is not here. Is ill, but accordingly to this, he started the paper, the proposal. Sorry, it was.
Actually, that's what I would expect of other topics we have discussed above. To start with some designs, proposals, and try to really understand the problem we are solving and how are we solving it. Because rushing to the code is not the way to go to me.
Yeah. In that cases that the change is so big, I agree that we need a proposal and a specific net file.
Yeah, here, like this proposal can be, discussed and we can see the way the author thinks it should work. We can, propose some better solutions or fine tune some details, and then implementation is just an implementation. But this already has received some comments.
Yeah, but
so
he didn't change anything.
Yeah, it would be nice to, probably we should discuss it at the next meeting because Christopher is going to be present.
And we have these comments that was not resolved. Jimmy I'm not sure if just you can check this comment because I saw that you check that is not an abstract class in other places, but not in that chain. So you can check it, please, because for me it's a unique
Yeah.
thing to that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I will check the comments one by one. The
If you
PRs
check
one
it
by.
is and it's
Yeah,
okay, I will approve it, but I need to ensure that it's not that an abstract.
don't worry about implementations. We can go back to the protocols parts. The implementations will be discussed offline.
Okay, and this was
Where?
already done. I changed for this case. It's the same code, but you can check it. But I move it to a different branch because we have all of these pull requests pointing to dev branch, and now
I
we have a kind of mess. I have a lot
and
of conflicts, so it was easier for me to start from zero. So if you can check it, the code is will be the same.
I don't understand the new working workflow right now. I don't know where my PR should go.
I
To be honest,
Me too.
it's one thing to discuss, but we can start now. In my opinion, we don't need masters news 3, and we just point to master because otherwise we will have the same problem that we had with the neo build. Every time we'll have conflicts, you will need to synchronize, and in that case, neo 4 can be separate from neo 3 with a hard fork. Each
but
feature will be completely separate. You can you can test neo 4 if you set your neo 4 hard fork. I'm not sure the name, but it will be easier. Otherwise, we will have two branches, and the changes will go to both of them. It will be a mess.
I don't know.
but
Is it? Sorry. Is it possible to check this right now, Fernando? Because there is a pull request that was merged from Eric that removed the dictionary, ordered the dictionary,
Yeah.
and anything was created. So is the master able to check anything as it is?
To check what?
Is able to run the master a client created with the master right now after that?
Yeah, I think master is stable. Yeah.
But check the last commit.
This one.
Yes, because we just removed the ordered dictionary, but we didn't add anything in
Yeah,
replace.
because it take the native one. I think is included in the net 10. He removed it, but it take the order dictionary from
the building.
.NET.
Okay, so it's okay. So I'll try. I'll try to test it. Now we need to upgrade to .NET 10. It's not stable yet. Yes,
It should be. Yeah.
should be.
But we have a lot of branches. Eric said that our pull requests must come now from our personal fork.
Yes.
So please, new pull requests. I say this also for me because I have the treasury in this neo. But please start your
Don't create more.
pull request from your personal fork, and I think the easier way is going all to master.
But master will still be the working branch for the new 4, right?
Yeah.
And our other PRs will still go to the master, right?
Sorry?
I mean, all of our PRs will go to master, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with that, and the masters will be specifically for Neo 4, and there will be a lot of content in the PRs and the features that is not compatible for Neo 3.
All of them must be compatible because we won't have a new blockchain. We will have the same. So we need to split all the features with hard forks.
But you will
And
release those things in Neo 4, but currently the Neo N3 will still be maintained. You know what I mean? That a lot of features will be released in the future, but they exist in the master. Well, you still have to release new versions for Neo N3.
But I don't understand you because
We are maintaining Neo 3 and a Neo 4 in the same time. You know what I mean?
yeah, but for me it's more or less the same. We will have a lot of features waiting for be used when the hard fork of Neo 4 will come.
let me ask, maybe a simpler question. What are our plans for Neo 3.9 release?
Eric told me he wanted it to be released as soon as possible.
I think it should be released as soon as possible. I think it should be released.
So what's going to be the base branch for this release?
I don't know. Currently, I have no idea at all.
Me too.
This I thought that we remove it.
Yeah, we removed this one. I think the get random is a thing.
I think that
A
3.9
lot of
only is waiting for the net 25.
what is a block in 2025? I think it's a. No, this one, please. I
For
have
me,
been.
it's already to be merged, but Anna said.
There are two issues. Yeah. First issue, actually, I wanted to discuss it, so we probably can discuss it right now because we need other opinions on this topic. So the issue is that I updated manifest class includes extended types, and if anyone deploy smart contract with new manifest, which includes extended types, then we may face state difference because some nodes may use an updated version of, for example, 3.9, and some nodes may still use the old version. And right now, this updated manifest class, it does not depend on hard fork. So there are two options. First one is to introduce a hard fork dependent manifest serialization. And the second option is to just to leave it as it is and hope that no one will deploy a manifest with extended types before found hard fork. And if anyone will, then the node will need a resynchronization. So two options, and I suppose we need opinions on that. You can just read the comment. And the second issue that should be also included into the release 3.9 is we need to make native contracts to be compatible with NEP25. Some of native contracts, they have, for example, they have iterators in their methods, or they have arrays. So we need to include extended types into native contract APIs.
Yeah, this will come together with the.
So two issues, yeah.
With this one. Yeah, it's just update the native manifest to change her manifest to be compatible with net 25. this is easy. I think I can do it.
Well,
Because for me,
maybe we should solve them one by one, in that we can merge the NEP25 PR as is, because it implements all of the NEP25 properties properly and it works. Then we can move on to make it hard fork dependent. That's a separate change, and it's easier to implement. I think that's for maximum safety. We of course should be doing this hard fork dependent deserialization, and then move on to native contract manifests. That's it. Because keeping it all in a single PR is just really inconvenient with respect to reviews and overall process.
I thought that we were agreed to close this. I'm not sure. But this is a clear case of the branches problem. We merge now NEF25. Where we should merge it to master Neo 3 because it's Neo 3, but we also want it in Neo 4. We need to duplicate the code, or
well, my opinion is that master and 3 branch just shouldn't exist. That's it.
Yeah, for me too. At least we will work in master, and when we release the 3.9, we can create a tag. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Because the next question is okay, if we need, even if we are to deal with 3.9 somehow, then the next question is 3.10. What's going to be there? 3.10 release. What's going to be included? To me, it should include some parts of these overall Neo and 4 effort that we're making, and we just activate parts with every hard fork we introduce with 3.10, 11, and so on. And also for 3.9, one thing to consider if we get back to 3.9 is this exact fee factor, because if I remember correctly, people want it like right now. They don't want to wait for a month or two, or I don't know, half a year, whatever.
Yeah, they want it now. We also
Yes.
need to discuss this point.
Yes. Yes.
It should be included in the 3.9.
Yes. So we just need to, complete this exact fee factor PR and include it into 3.9 and at least release that.
And I think also whitelisted contracts should also be included, and the whitelisted contracts themselves, they are almost ready.
This one must be included also, because the community is waiting for the fee changes that we agree in Singapore.
Yes.
What about whitelist? What about the whitelist?
The whitelist, to me, well, I still don't like it, to be fair.
The whitelist is something for Neo 4.
And also, I think it's a little more problematic, and currently it maybe needs a bit more time. So exact fee factor is something that we can deliver like right now.
But that one is a decision from the council. They decided in the meeting during the central point meeting.
Okay, then we can introduce it with the 3.10 when it's going to be stable. And
but in the Singapore meeting, we agreed to change the. I'm not sure if the whitelist was agreed or just the execution factor.
Flamingo told me it's decided. So
for me, it's good to have both of them in 3.9.
Well, if whitelist is ready, then
no, because the whitelist and the execution factor is almost done. NEP25 is almost done also.
Yes.
For me, we should close this because we are not agree with why we
Well,
need it.
if I remember correctly, if the implementation has changed considerably and if it's currently correct, then it can be a good addition. But we just need someone to verify that it works correctly. If I remember correctly also, then the latest person that was touching this is Will. Maybe he has something to add, because a similar code was added in the other part of the system somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not in the smart contract.
Yes.
For me, it's something that the smart contract can do by himself. We can
It's
add it,
error.
but maybe it's not.
It's so error prone. Just consider how much time we were discussing this particular PR, and if people can do this in contracts, but they will also make some mistakes and have some bad results. So for me, it's pretty natural for a library to provide this functionality. So it's useful. I think it's useful. Not critical to me personally, but it's useful overall.
Okay,
but at least also it's not a blocker, of course, because if we're delayed this by release, it's not a big deal.
We need to wait for this issue for 3.9. For me, it don't deserve. It can come in 3.10. It's not something that must be included in the 3.9 checklist. Something that is delaying. Okay. And nobody asked about it. So why we should wait for that issue?
Yeah, it's not a blocker. That's true.
I will leave the pull request, but it's not required. This is already discussed, I think.
Yes, so the final decision is that we will merge this PR and then we will create an issue for this problem to solve it separately. And then this PR is good to merge to me. I reviewed the latest updates, so it's good to be merged.
It could be, I will open the code, wait a minute. It could be easy if we just, because move the hard for logic to the serialization could be,
I think
it can be hard.
It can be hard, yeah, but maybe we can do something like.
I think we just need to, two classes for this manifests, NEP14 and NEP25 class, and then it's going to be easy because each class is going to have only the things it supports. And
we can do something like here if we have the hard for. And if parser manifest ABI extended,
then you have to iterate through all methods and through all events.
One thing, if we are to think of in this direction, we can also leverage supported standards that are available from the manifest. So it's somewhat stretching, but contracts can declare that they are NEP25 by including the NEP25 string in their manifest. But I think it doesn't. Maybe it's not secure enough. Yes.
It just creates a property in the ABI.
No. It's already there. We have supported standards. It's just that this field is currently almost unused. No one cares.
It's just a property that checks if the ABI contains any NEP25.
I see. Yes.
During deploy or during update, just we can check the hard fork
Yeah.
And if this property is true, just throw
Yes.
one exception. It could be easier.
Yeah.
Because moving the logic of the is JSON, it could be more easy. But yeah, I will do that. I will do that.
But let's do this still in separate PR. Let's merge this one as is because it's like to have a relatively finalized version
Okay.
of NEP 20.
Yeah, it's going to be easier to review this way.
It's good to me. Then please review this to merge it, and I will open 2PR for the other two issues.
Although just to note that this PR is for the dev branch still, so
yeah,
we currently have a mess of branches.
This is a mess because I try to rebase with master, and you need to go one by one, at least 300 commits. Some files are removed. You need to check where. So probably I will open a new one. It's only 9 files, and it's easier for me just to copy the changes and open a new one. I will try, but I think I will open a new one. So according to the branch issues, we are ready to merge to master, and because for that case, if we have master, if
we are merging to master, we can just drop master and 3 and dev branch. We don't need them.
Currently, master 3, I think, is around dev. Yeah, master 3 and dev. But a lot of PR are already merged in the other one. So if we want to merge master neo 3 the net 25, we won't have it in master. I will move it to master.
Okay.
We can create master 3 when we release 3.9, but before it's a mess. And the last, we have this one and this one. This will be the last. Okay.
This issue is about the way how we define gas left. Because right now, with this change, the sum of gas left and gas consumed is not equal to the gas limit of VM anymore. So I'm not sure if it's it's a problem not from the code perspective, because the code itself uses gas left only in a single place. But it's a problem from there is a logic problem.
Yeah, but because here we have a round. Because if we use the fifth factor, the Pico gas is only internal thing to application engine. So here you are comparing two external properties that is in Datosi with some internal logic that is in Pico gas. So for me, it's normal to violate this. because it's device sailing.
Okay, then there is another like tiny problem. If some contract accesses gas left via system runtime gas left, then he sees a number that can be larger than the real amount of gas left. So it may be a problem because some logic may depend on the gas left. So the contract thinks that there is a lot of instructions that can be executed, whereas in fact, there is not a lot of like gas to execute, not a lot of instructions. I'm not sure how important this problem is, but it exists.
I understand the problem, but for me, it's normal if we use 4 decimals for inside and 0 decimals for outside. For me, it's expected.
Well, okay, then let's just keep it as is. It will be a feature.
Because how do you plan to fix it if we have this wrong behavior?
Well, the only option that is available here is just to change the rounding for this particular call, the gas left. I guess it doesn't matter what way we choose. We have either one set of problems or another set of problems because we're losing some precision inevitably. It's just a question of what problems we prefer to have. Because for gas consumed, it's pretty obvious we need to have this saving. But for gas left, it's not so much. It looks like maybe it's safer to have a normal division here. But at least it preserves the equation of gas consumed plus gas left is equal to the amount of gas that we have initially, supplied to the VM. But is it important enough to keep this, I don't know.
Let's think about it, and please.
Maybe we need some examples of how gas left is really used by contracts, if it's used at all, because it's a question also. It's pretty, interesting call that, at least to me, it's not very useful for contracts, but maybe some people do some things depend on that. So it would be nice to see some examples of how people really use this data.
Yeah, they can use this value to do a different logic. So currently we already have it in the smart contract. So
I actually had a kind of the same thoughts. So let me just collect statistics from mainnet and let's see if it is used right now.
At least we can, parse the opcodes of deployed contracts and check if it's used at all by the contracts that are currently deployed.
Okay.
let's think about them. Please add your comment there. It's also something that we can fix after in a new PR. Because it will only probably change that line.
Yes, exactly one line. Yes.
So I think we can just review and try to merge as soon as possible, because 3.9 is waiting. And for community, the most important points are the fee issues. One is this one, the execution factor, that we
Yes.
agree in Singapore. And the other is something that we agree in Singapore, but as I see, is against the Neo4 roadmap. So is the flat rewards. Is more or less about that you will earn the same gas if you bought the first or the 21 committee node. But it's something that in Neo4 roadmap it will be changes, because we will decouple the staking reward from governance.
Isn't it the same thing?
We will change your reward according to staking. Some portion will send to the treasuries. I think that there are a lot of changes according to the gas reward. And
it will be different. The new N4 detailed protocols. Eric told me he will still need time to thinking about how it will be like exactly, because I asked him the question, what the staking and the voting will be like for Neo 4. Are they the same thing, or they will be separate things? He told me he will be still need time to think about it. He wanted in the Neo N3 the flattening reward be implemented in Neo N3 directly. It will be different from what the Neo N4 will be like. Just to make the reward decoupled from the ranking of the nodes.
Okay, so he's agreed to do that change, and in Neo 4 will be saying.
Yes, flattening. If I didn't understand it wrong, it's like making the rewards like all users. If as long as you voted for the guys who is selected, your reward will be the same. No longer be different from by the rankings or by sharing or something.
Community want to avoid this issue. You vote a Neo order, you get this.
You no longer be related
reward,
to this.
And if you go to Binance, you get this reward. They want to get the same reward for each one.
So as long as you vote, your reward will be the same.
Yeah.
Does it include nodes outside of the?
Yeah, they want also include nodes outside.
I discussed this actually with Alibaba. His suggestion is to not include those nodes outside, because if we do this, those nodes might just register unlimited numbers, like a lot of numbers of candidates or something.
Yeah, I'm also agree, but the truth is that if you don't earn any gas outside, why you will want to vote outside? You won't change never anything, because why you will want to change the node?
Right now, we don't have to worry about this, because from the roadmap for America, in the next version, Council will have the power to extend the numbers, adding, like making it no longer not just the 21. They might make it like a 20 or even 23 or 24 or something like that. So if users want, if outside of the 21 nodes still want to be rewarded, the consoles will just be able to decide by themselves in the next version, the new 4. So we don't have to worry about this right now.
But talking about Neo 3, because community is waiting for it, Eric is agreed with earn gas outside the 21.
I'm not
or,
sure.
or just flat rewards between 21.
I didn't hear this part from Eric. He didn't mention this. He just mentioned about the reward. I'll ask him. You can ask him by yourself, man. You have his Twitter. You have his WeChat. You have his on Discord. You can just ask him directly.
Okay.
And you can tell him that council wants this, and the council has discussed about this, and you can share him the council's proposal.
I will ask him. I will try to do the flat rewards for 21, but for outside 21, I will ask Eric because it's a completely different thing. It's almost the same, but it's not the same. But I was thinking about this chain, and I don't think it will change so much because
it's totally different if we're talking about users rewards and the nodes rewards. I think what console wants is that even the nodes outside of the 21 nodes itself still get rewarded, right? Instead of users, not just the users. If the nodes is getting, even if the nodes is not selected to the top 21, they will fairly getting rewarded. That what the console has been wanted, right? It's not just the user's reward.
Well, it's a different because console gets its rewards for being a part of the console. So node number 22 shouldn't receive any rewards, but users voting, well, that can be equal. Actually, this would simplify gas reward calculations considerably, although at the same time, it will probably immediately break all of the third-party tools that are dependent on the logic we had for like 4 years now. So
yeah, that's exactly what I'm asking. Do they want the nodes to be rewarded, or just want the users to be rewarded?
I think nodes should not be rewarded if they are
because
not
previously.
console.
All right.
They want users to be rewarded equally because this changes for like to make all candidates equal in equal for the users to vote. So they want users to vote for those candidates that user respect and without regarding to the place of this candidate in the list.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
so
Exactly. From my understanding, this is what Anna mentioned. You can vote for any candidate, even if it's on the committee or not, and you should choose a voting time. Like, you're gonna vote for 6 months, you're gonna vote for 1 year, you're gonna vote for 1 week, you're gonna vote for 1 month. Your voting period, the time you want to lock your vote, gonna influentiate how much reward you're gonna receive, but not if your candidate is elected or not.
Just to
And
know,
I think it's good design.
just to note, Fernando, I'm not sure it's worth adding to 3.9 because it can require some time, even though.
I know, but community is waiting for those changes.
That's that can delay 3.9, and I'm not sure it's worth it because we can technically introduce it in 3.10, Nothing prevents us from doing that along with some other changes. I'm just not sure how long will it take. Because all of the other things we have discussed, we already hit PRs, we have discussed them, we know that some minor fixes need to be done and they're ready to go. But flat rewards, we have nothing for that currently.
I need to check the code. I'm not sure how hard will be this change.
It's invasive. Gas calculations are not simple, even though it simplifies them. But there are going to be questions of when this mode is activated, the new mode, and how are we going to calculate the old gas, the new gas, and not that it's super, it's not post-quantum cryptography, but at the same time, it will, require some attention, and it will delay us. At least I think so.
Okay, let's focus on that points. So please review net25 execution factor. We should merge it as soon as possible in order to release the 3.9. I will also
we can actually put it here, but make it not mandatory, because previously for us to decide it will be a long time. But right now, if there's any issues, we can just ask Gary to do it directly. It will be much easier.
This was
I updated this one.
I
Updated.
Do you want to remove this one?
You can remove it in this one actually, because it's not a mandatory. It's just a non-important feature.
It's important, but maybe not mandatory.
I've upgraded it. I think it's done, but I need time to check.
So that's all. I think this is
Fernando. I think whitelisted contracts. So do we agree to include them in 3.9? Because whitelisted contracts, they don't. They right now they are not included in the 3.9.
Yeah, for me it's good to have it. It's almost tested. I need to check the early comments.
Yeah, okay, sure. So we should probably include this issue into the list. Yeah.
So please focus on that. So that's all, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.